If you're listening to this late at night and you've been feeling that you have given all that you have, this one's for you. Tonight, we're reading two quiet Reddit posts from people who sound fine on the outside, but are struggling in ways most people never see. Post 1. I spend most of my days making decisions. At work, I'm responsible for processes and outcomes, and people regularly look to me to choose what happens next. When I'm not working, I live alone, which means the deciding doesn't really stop. Every choice, small or large, lands with me. Recently, I noticed how thin that margin has become. I was standing in a store trying to make a simple purchase, and the number of options suddenly felt unbearable. Not because it matters so much, but because I didn't have anything left to give to the act of choosing. I wasn't upset with anyone. I was just exhausted in a way that's hard to explain, like all of my problem solving energy has already been spent elsewhere. Lately, it feels as though I've used up my daily quota of decisions just by moving through the world. The things that once felt creative and restorative have been pushed aside, not from lack of interest, but from lack of capacity. It's not that the choices themselves are heavy, it's that there are so many of them and they never really pause. Even existing seems to require constant evaluation, selection, and judgment. And some days, that quiet accumulation is what wears me down the most. Post 2. If you're paying your bills, showing up to work or school, and trying to be responsible, but still feel behind, overwhelmed, or unsure, this might feel familiar. A lot of the stress I associate with adulthood doesn't come from the responsibilities themselves. It comes from the thoughts that follow them. Thoughts like, I should have figured this out by now. I'll deal with this when I have more energy. Everyone else seems to be handling this better. They sound reasonable, even mature. And because of that, I rarely question them. I carried them alongside everything else without realizing how much weight they added. Over time, it became clear that some thoughts don't help, they just repeat themselves. They feel responsible, but they don't actually make anything easier. They quietly turn ordinary responsibility into something heavier than it needs to be. Sometimes adulthood doesn't feel hard because we're doing something wrong. It feels hard because of the constant mental narration that tells us we're behind, even when we're still moving. Sometimes the heaviness of adulthood isn't tied to a single responsibility, but to the ongoing need to decide, evaluate, and keep up with an internal commentary that never actually turns off. When choice follows choice and each one carries an unspoken expectation to do it right, even simple moments can feel draining. It isn't a lack of capacity or capability that creates this exhaustion. It's the quiet accumulation of responsibility and self monitoring over long periods of time. If any part of this video felt familiar, you're not alone in that feeling. If any part of this video felt like that is you, you don't need to have answers tonight. You don't need to fix anything right now. You just need to be. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself gently.